Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There's a lot to love about New Hampshire. Hey everyone, Matt Swierk here. I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams Realty. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you've come, definitely hit the like button, the subscribe button. All those things are going to activate when we make a new video. This channel is everything to do with Massachusetts, eating, sleeping, drinking. Today we're talking New Hampshire. So listen, if you have questions, we have answers. All you got to do is reach out to us, call us, email us, text us, send a message to us, get in touch with us. We'll get back to you. When it comes to Massachusetts and New Hampshire, we've always got your back. All right, so today we are talking about New Hampshire, right, which is confusing because this is more about Massachusetts, right? However, I have some roots in New Hampshire from going to college there. It's right over the border, and the fun thing about what we do is there's really no rules. So we're talking New Hampshire today. New Hampshire, it's a great state, right? I laugh because absolutely live free or die. In my mind, I'm laughing because just in the real estate verticals, New Hampshire is very different as far as Massachusetts. And it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. We're talking just kind of living up in New Hampshire and what are some of the benefits. Like I said, I spent 5 years there in college. Yes, I was on the extended plan. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun, but I had some, I got some great roots there. So I call it home to a degree. I spent a lot of time in New Hampshire, and one of the things I absolutely love, there's a place, Laconia, right? And Laconia, when you think New Hampshire, well, when I think New Hampshire, immediately I'm thinking Laconia, I'm thinking motorcycles. Now, for those of you that don't match up with that equation, we have this bike week up in Laconia, or they have. I'm not gonna say we. I don't ride a motorcycle, so I'm not stepping into that category. However, when they have motorcycle week up there, and from what I gather, it is absolute chaos. So much fun. People love there's so many places to go riding through all these roads. People love the foliage season. It is kind of it's a cool thing to see everything changing as far as the leaves are concerned. However, I would never take an actual vacation to go look at leaves, right? Like I'll notice them when I'm driving around, but I'm not gonna say, hey, let me go spend a weekend driving around looking at different colors, right? Because my kids have crayons. I'm just kidding. It's amazing, right? Photosynthesis, I don't even know if that's part of the process, whatever. So when it comes to Laconia, beautiful, beautiful place there. There's Lake Winnipesaukee, and really what people love is the Kangamangas Highway, right? So Kangamangas Highway, it's like an hour ride. Absolutely gorgeous, of all different rivers and mountains, valleys. I mean, it's amazing. It's such a great place. So there's lots of bike shows during bike week, bike crawls. There's all different things. So be aware during bike week. You definitely want to check twice, right? Because there's a lot of bikers out there and want to make sure that everyone stays safe. All right, so gotta throw some safety into the video, and we're not gonna throw fried clams into this video, believe it or not. All right, so I just did. Okay, now when it comes to another thing as far as New Hampshire is the Mount Washington, right? Huge mountain. It's a great mountain. There's some really nice hotels there, great skiing around there. There is an auto road, like a toll road, right? And it's basically it's just under 8 miles, or it's like 7.5 miles, and it takes about, I'd say 30 to 40 minutes to maneuver through, right? It kind of goes up and around. We're talking motorcycles, right? So when the bikies, right? The bikies, I don't even know if I could say that because I'm not in that world, right? So sorry guys, I'm in your world. So the people who ride the motorcycles, right? Yes, I'm in one of those moods today. Tyler's over here doing this. You can't see him. Lots of chuckles, and you might hear him. If you the driver of the motorcycle and their passenger, it's only $17, right? So that's not bad. It's one of the highest peaks in the Northeast. It runs all there. I mean, you can. There's so much to see. So definitely, I think that's if you ride a motorcycle, whatever you call yourself as a motorcycle rider, right? I'm not going to cross that line again. I think it's a bucket list, right? It's a steep ride. $17 isn't that steep for some beautiful views, but it's Mount Washington. You definitely want to check that out. Now, if you're not there with your motorcycle, right, and you want to drive, you can do that. You can hike, I wouldn't do that. However, something that I've done I think is really cool is the Cog Railway. And I think we talked about this in one of our other videos of vacationing around Massachusetts and New Hampshire. But the Cog Railway, really cool. It's $50 to get on there. It's an old coal-fed engine, and engine with a car attached to it. And they're feeding the coal as you go up. And what's really interesting is, the windows are down, and all of a sudden, you get these black things coming in there, hot. You're like, what is going on? Well, it's like ash and embers from the engine spitting in. So, if you don't want to get burned, put your windows up. There's great things to see. But that's a whole experience in itself, right? So, especially if you like torture. No, I'm kidding. It's an awesome place. Love the Cog Railway. Definitely go check that out, right? Now, when we think New Hampshire, I just think open spaces. I think green. I think water. I think beauty. So when we are thinking about water and water sports, there's so many lakes and ponds, right? We talked about Lake Winnipesaukee, which is this one of the most famous lakes. And of course, there's fishing and boating and everything throughout the state, but Winnipesaukee is where it's at, right? And a lot of people say, hey, I'm going up north. They're going to Lake Winnipesaukee, right? That's the home away from home. A lot of people have second homes. And a lot of the waterways, if you will, definitely motorboats, jet skis, kayaking, fishing. What's interesting though, as far as fishing is concerned, the game wardens, they're pretty strict, right? So you have to get a fishing license because yes, they're going to stop and check to make sure you got your license. Now, if you don't have your fishing license, what happens? I have no idea. I'm not a fishing person, right? But if something happens, right? What do? They make you take your line off? I don't know. So maybe I'll do some research on that one. I'm not an expert in fishing. Okay. I did it as a kid, but I just don't think it sounds like fun. I don't know. It's just not my thing. All right. So, and of course, where there's fish, there's healthy water, and there's great places to swim. Especially the Kangamangas. I love what we call water shoeing and just kind of getting on the, going up the river, just having fun hiking in the water with some water shoes on. It's a blast. So as we stay outside talking about water, and we're talking about water sports, let's talk outdoor living, right? So lots of open spaces. There are some cities and some metropolises, but there's not as many as Massachusetts, right? So if you're looking for more spread out areas, you're looking for more acreage, you can get that here in Massachusetts. It's probably going to be more towards central Mass or western Mass, right? But up in New Hampshire, there's a lot of land, right? I just hit the light here. I hope that doesn't shake things up. But there is, what's really fun about New Hampshire is, and Massachusetts has this as well, but there is literally trails that go up as far as ATVs, which is also used for snowmobiling. So there is so many things that you can do. And, again, with all that open space and people have bigger properties, lots of fun for entertaining, lots of bonfires. It's a really fun place. So, and then again, with outdoors, hiking. I can't even tell you how many trails there are, right? I mean, it's all over the place. And there is just beautiful, beautiful scenery there. We did a video about beaches and talking about how you can see beautiful mountains when you're on the beach, right? So check out that video. So anyway, so that's kind of outdoor living, as far as the state is concerned. Now let's talk winter, right? Winter, we're starting to move into that time of year, right? Yes, we're going to embrace the snow. Yes, we're going to embrace the cold weather. It is what it is. Where New England is, we can toughen it out, right? We deal with it. I think if we had some of the other weather phenomena, we'd probably start crying because we love complaining about the weather. And if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's changing here, right? It's amazing how quick things change. But there is, with the large amount of snowfall that New Hampshire gets and some of those colder temperatures, yes, skiing, snowboarding, hockey, right? There's just snowshoeing. I mean, you name it. Ice fishing, right? You still get your license for ice fishing, but another weird concept I've never done. My brother was ice fishing once and one of his buddies lost the keys to the car in the hole. And they were like an hour and a half away from cell service. I was like, how did you figure that one out? But that's a whole nother story. So we'll get off of that one. But there, as far as in the White Mountains and all that skiing, I mean, there's so many different mountains. So if you're a beginner all the way up to an expert, you'll find great trails. And there's a lot of different, this is not necessarily for winter. It's beautiful, but taking the scenic trails as far as the terrain is concerned, that's great. And in the summertime, I know we're talking winter, in the summertime, a lot of the mountains have zip lining now, right? So that's a lot of fun. we talked hockey, right? So as you know, I'm a big hockey fan. Tyler just went like this. He's not a Boston Bruins fan. He's a Maple Leafs fan, so that's cool. I was talking to this guy today from St. Louis, and I didn't want to ask him if he was a Blues fan. But anyway, so hockey, we love the fact that there's so many rinks, and of course with so much water, yes, pond hockey, right? So going back old school, you're going to get your skates ripped up multiple times. You're going to get them sharpened a lot, right? Because the ice and the bumps and the branches, you name it, what's there, it's not really smooth ice. There's no Zambonis, right? We can't clean the ice. But absolutely, there's great hockey there. So that's something that's fun as well. And I think as far as, like I said, with New Hampshire, when I think beauty and I think, all these different things, really I think about relaxing and slowing down. Right, it's kind of goes back to that live free or die, and just people want to do their own thing. They don't want government telling them what to do. They don't want their neighbors telling them what to do. So there's so many beautiful places, fields and rivers and mountains. Pack up a great picnic, go have a glass of wine, have a glass of soda, have some cranberry juice, whatever you drink, go for it. Just enjoy the beauty that is there in New Hampshire. And what's great about New Hampshire as well is the proximity, right? So you have Manchester, which is a bigger city. You have Nashua, which is a city that's, both of those have a lot to offer. But if people want to get into larger cities or different areas, it's not that far from Boston, Massachusetts. It's not that far from Portland, Maine. Great places with lots of great seafood. And yes, I'm not going to say you know what I'm going for. But there's just so much to do there. And we just keep it plain and simple, right? New Hampshire's a little bit laid back. Lots of space, lots to enjoy as far as nature. It's a great place. New Hampshire, there's a lot to love, and that's just some of the things that we love about New Hampshire. Like I said, we spend a lot of time up there. If you're coming, just want some information, if you're looking to rent here, if you're looking to move here, just reach out to us any way possible. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it, and remember, when it comes to Massachusetts and New Hampshire, we've always got your back.